Jai Hind students, how are you? I hope you all are fine at home. Today we will discuss the remaining topics of this chapter, Chapter 1, Resources and Development. Today we will discuss about the soil. Soil as a resource. Soil is the most important renewable natural resource. It is the medium of plant growth and supports different types of living organisms on the earth. The soil is a living system. It takes millions of years to form soil up to a few centimeters in depth. Various factors of nature such as change in temperature, action of running water, wind and glaciers, activities of decomposers, etc. contribute to the formation of soil. Soil also consists of organic and inorganic material. Now, the classification of soils. On the basis of the factors responsible for soil formation, color, thickness, texture, age, chemical and physical properties, the soil of India can be classified in different types. India has varied relief features, landforms, climatic conditions and vegetation types. These have contributed in the development of various types of soils. Now we will discuss about different types of soils. So first we will discuss about the alluvial soils. Alluvial soil is the most widely spread and important soil. It is the most fertile soil. The entire northern plains are made of alluvial soil. In the eastern coastal plains, particularly in the deltas of the Mahanadi, the Godavari, the Krishna and the Kaveri rivers, alluvial soil is found. The alluvial soil consists of various proportions of sand, silt and clay. Apart from the size of their grains or components, soils are also described on the basis of their age. According to their age, alluvial soils can be classified as old alluvial, that is known as Bangar, and new alluvial, that is known as Khadar. Alluvial soil is the most fertile soil. It contains potash, phosphoric acid and lime, which are ideal for the growth of sugarcane, paddy, wheat and other cereal and pulse crop. Due to its high fertility, regions of alluvial soils are intensively cultivated and densely populated. Now second one is black soil. Black soil. These soils are black in color and are also known as rigor soils. This soil is ideal for growing cotton and is also known as black cotton soil. They cover the plateaus of Maharashtra, Saurashtra, Malwa, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. The black soils are made up of extremely fine, that is clay material. They are well known for their capacity to hold moisture. They are rich in soil nutrients such as calcium carbonate, magnesium, potash and lime. Now third one is red and yellow soils. Red soil develops on crystalline igneous rocks in areas of low rainfall in the eastern and southern parts of the Deccan Plateau. Yellow and red soils are also found in parts of Odisha, Chhattisgarh, southern parts of the middle Ganga plain. These soils develop a reddish color due to diffusion of iron in crystalline and metamorphic rocks. It looks yellow when it occurs in a hydrated form. Now the next one is laterite soil. Laterite has been derived from the Latin word later, which means brick. The laterite soil develops under tropical and subtropical climate with alternate wet and dry season. Now next one is laterite soil. These types of soils develops in areas with high temperature and heavy rainfall, found in Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Madhya Pradesh and the hilly areas of Odisha and Assam. It is suitable for cultivation with adequate doses of manures and fertilizers. It is low humus content because decomposers like bacteria get destroyed due to high temperature. Next one is arid soil. Arid soils range from red to brown in color. They are generally sandy in texture and saline in nature. In some areas, the salt content is very high and common salt is obtained by evaporating the water. Due to the dry climate, high temperature, evaporation is faster and the soil lacks humus and moisture. After proper irrigation, these soils become cultivable as has been in the case of Western Rajasthan. Next one is forest soil. These soils are found in the hilly and mountainous areas where sufficient rainforests are available. The soil texture varies according to the mountain environment where they are formed. In the snow-covered areas of the Himalayas, these soils experience denudation and are acidic with low humus content. The soils found in the lower parts of the valleys, particularly on the river terraces and alluvial fens, are fertile. Now next is soil erosion and soil conservation. Denudation of the soil cover and subsequent washing down is described as soil erosion. The process of soil formation and erosion go on simultaneously and generally there is a balance between the two. Sometimes this balance is disturbed due to human activities like deforestation, overgrazing, construction and mining etc. While natural forces like wind, glacier and water lead to soil erosion. Soil erosion is also caused due to defective methods of farming. Flowing to a wrong way, that is up and down the slope, form channels for the quick flow of water leading to soil erosion. There are some measures to control soil erosion like strip cropping, planting shelter belts, in hilly areas using contour plowing and terrace farming. Steps can be cut out on the slopes making terraces. Terrace cultivation restrict erosion. Large fields can be divided into strips. Strips of grass are left to grow between the crops. This breaks up the force of the wind. This method is known as strip cropping. Planting lines of trees to create shelter also work in a similar way. Rows of such trees are called shelter belts. These shelter belts have contributed significantly to the stabilization of sand dunes and in stabilizing the desert in Western India. So this is all about today's lecture. Here the chapter is finished. Now you have to make the notes of whole chapter in your fair notebook. Thank you.